Today we're going to be talking about Frog CMS. Here we went to madebyfrog.com and we clicked on the download button to get the latest stable version of the content management system. By clicking on the zip or tar.gz, you can do either one. I did zip. After a few seconds it's going to go ahead and download. This is a pre-downloaded version I have already. The Frog CMS, it comes with all the PHP files that you need, as you can see here. In this folder there's a install.txt file that takes you through a step-by-step process. The first step is to manually create your database. For some people this may not be an easy task, but here I already have a website that I use for my company's test productions. So here's a control panel and you can enter the MySQL databases, and here you can create a new database very simply. I already created the database, but this is an example of how. Just type in the name, create database. It's giving you an error because it already exists. So go back and I'll show you the settings down here. I have the Frog demo database, and I created a user just for that database. You basically add the new user, and then once it's added and you have the password and everything, then you add that user to the database. And this is the information that you'll need later on when you begin to configure the installation for the CMS. So back to the install.txt, the next step is to upload all those files that you downloaded to the website or wherever you're hosting it. So here I'm using FileZilla, and I already created a folder frog_demo inside of that folder on that same website. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight all the files here and click and drag them over, and it's going to upload everything for me. So this is going to take just a second, but the cool thing about the Frog CMS is that once you upload everything and you've created that database easily like I did through the control panel, you actually can install through your browser thanks to some PHP scripts that will automatically set up all your SQL tables and input all the data that you need. So it's always important that you remember the database name, the database username, as well as a password, because you will need this when you begin to configure. This is the file manager on the control panel side, and we'll get into this a little bit later as we have to change the permissions to the config.php file. But right now we're just waiting for the files to finish uploading here. You can see the queued files are quickly going over. When I originally did this, it was actually easier to go ahead and upload everything and create the databases while this was uploading, so I'm not sitting here waiting for this to finish. But it was pretty quick, so we're finishing up right now, and now we can go to the link that it was telling us in the install.txt file, basically going to where you uploaded all the files, and in my case I uploaded them to frog_demo folder, and then going there will automatically take you to the installation file, since the index and everything doesn't actually exist yet. So here is easy installation. Put in your database user, and sometimes you'll have a different database server and port depending on your host, but my host has the defaults that are displayed here. So I put in the database username, which I created as falconwa_demo, and the database name, which was Frog demo. It's important that you don't have spaces in these names because SQL is sensitive in that nature. So just clicking install now, and everything went great. It auto generates a password for you, which you'll want to change. And there's a couple things that it tells you to do. You need to delete the install folder, remove all write permissions from the config.php file, and then also remove the changelog.txt file to enhance security. And that also is in step 4 on that txt file that we've been using before. So if you try and do it in FileZilla, it won't work, which is why I open it up in my control panel and open up the file manager there. And here I navigated to the Frog demo folder, found the config.php file, and over on the right hand side I can change the permissions. I'm also deleting the install folder because that was another thing that it told you to do, and that enhances the security so no one can mess with your installation after you do install it. So now I'll go ahead and edit the permissions, and right now it's set to 0644, which is owner read write, and then a read for public and other users. So I'll just set it to 0400, which is going to give everyone read permissions, which is a requirement. Because if you try and go to your site with write permissions still enabled, it will actually lock down the entire thing. So since I did that, now it's giving me the login, where I can log in with the admin and the generated password that they gave me. And it's pretty easy from here. And that's the installation of Frog CMS. Make sure you change your password. Thank you.